Here's a GRE geometry question. Let's take a look. What is the perimeter of a triangle that has points at -3, 4, 1, 1, and -3, -2? And before we dive into this, just a reminder that my name is Andrew and I solve GRE questions. If you want to find out more about my online course, you can follow the link in my profile. All right, let's dive in here. Well, we are clearly in coordinate geometry land. So the first order of business is to draw the coordinate plane, right? The XY coordinate plane. And you'd be amazed how many people don't take this step. They think they can just figure it out by looking at the numbers, but I always draw out the coordinate plane when I see that we're dealing with coordinates. So what are the coordinates that we're dealing with? Well, there's the point -3, 4. Doesn't have to be perfect, maybe like right there, -3, 4. I have the point 1, 1 right there, 1, 1. And I have the point -3, -2. Right there, -3, -2. And we want to figure out the perimeter of this here triangle, right? And the perimeter, of course, is just going to be the sum of all the sides. So this side plus this side plus this side. Well, let's start with the easiest side to calculate. That's going to be this one. And I say easy because they have the same x-coordinate, right? They're both at -3. So we just need to figure out what this vertical distance is here. How far did I travel to go from -2 to +4? Well, that's a distance of 6. So I can at least say part of this is 6. I'll say 6 plus whatever these other two are. Okay, now for these two legs, right? To calculate this distance, to go from -3, 4 to 1, 1, I could use the distance formula. And if you know the distance formula and you've memorized it and you're solid on it, good for you. But it's complicated. So one alternative you have to the distance formula, or rather a different way of calculating the distance formula, is actually to use the Pythagorean theorem. What do I mean? Well, let's look at this point and this point. We're going from -3, 4 to 1, 1. How far am I traveling horizontally to go from -3 to 1? Right? To go from -3 to 1, I'm traveling horizontally by 4. And how far am I traveling vertically? I'm going from 4 down to 1. That's a distance of 3. So I just created this right triangle right here with a distance of 3 with a distance of 4. So what's the hypotenuse? If you know your Pythagorean theorem, that distance is 5, right? 3, 4, 5. The hypotenuse of this triangle, and I'm drawing triangles on triangles, is 5. So that distance is 5 right there. Okay, well, how about this distance right here? To go horizontally from 1 down to -2, what's that distance right there? That's a distance of 3. And what's that distance vertically? To go from 1 to -3, well, again, that's 4. So 3, 4, 5 again, meaning that the perimeter of this triangle is 5 plus 5 plus 6, also known as 16.